Are you worried about your makeup lasting while wearing a mask or a visor? Well, I have some pro tips for you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Mike. I'm a hairdresser, a L'Oreal colour specialist, a makeup fan and a skincare lover. I post every Wednesday and Sunday, so consider subscribing. In today's film, I'm going to be going through tips and techniques how to make your makeup last longer and still look flawless while you're wearing a mask or a visor. So if you want to learn more about this, then keep on watching. What is the story, everyone? With people slowly coming back into work and some sort of normality, we still have to look good. And do you know what? People will have to wearing a mask or a visor. It's really hard to create a makeup look that will last you a long time. Like, we really want the makeup to look good and last long without creasing. Like, when we think of it this way, if we're wearing a mask, we're covering most of our face. If we have a visor on, we're creating a lot more heat. In today's film, I'm going to be really telling you all the tips and tricks and how to apply your makeup so you look well underneath your visor and your mask. Because let's be honest with each other, you may not want to wear makeup if you're wearing all this, but if you're leaving work and if you're walking home, you want your makeup to look good. First of all, let me talk about 3 tips that you need to know. Prep, set, and technique. Those are your 3 key words. Now, when we look at our mask, so this is my mask that I'll be probably wearing at work. So you're putting it over here, and if we're putting that on, right, I'm just gonna roughly put that on. It is covering a lot of my face. So it is covering my nose, and it is covering my chin area, and it is covering my lips. But we can still see my eyes and my forehead. If you have a visor on top of that, you're going to be creating a lot more heat. And heat and makeup are not best friends. So we really need to focus on our skin. Prepping our skin is the key, depending on your skin type. Now, my skin is rather oily. Now, it's very oily. It nearly looks like a disco ball. And you know what? I don't mind it, but we really need to think about how we can make our makeup last longer and still look flawless while we're wearing a mask or a visor. The main thing is get your skin prepped. Now, I'm a true believer in double cleansing, and what do I mean by double cleansing? It's using an oil cleanser and a water-based cleanser. The oil cleanser at the moment that I'm using is Cleansing Oil by Roche-Posay. The whole idea behind a cleansing oil is that oil removes oil. Simple as that. So when I have oily skin and I apply oil, the oil will lift out oil. Also, what I do afterwards is use a water-based cleanser. And the water-based cleanser I'm using at the moment is Cleansing Foam and Water by Roche-Posay. This is a rather gentle product, so water cleanser, it will remove anything else. It will help to remove dirt from your face, it will clean the pores, etc, etc. So I'm a true believer of doing double cleansing. So this is your first step. Make sure your skin is prepped. I'm not really a believer of primers. I do use them. A nice pore filling primer is absolutely gorgeous on a night out, just to really smooth out your skin and just make your skin look really flawless. But in today's tutorial or a film, whatever you want to call it, we want longevity. We want that makeup to last. So what I would normally do is hydrate and moisturize our skin really, really well. The key to it is to have good skincare. If your skin is really dry, if you put anything that's silicone based on top of your skin, that's really not good. What that's going to do is going to create a film between your skin and your makeup, and the makeup is just going to start cracking. So what I would recommend, if your skin is really, really dry, hydrate really, really well. Another trick is moisturize 10 or 20 minutes prior to applying your foundation. So our steps in today's film are going to look completely different to what we normally do. And I'm going to give you all the tricks to make your makeup last longer. Now, if you've oily skin like me, I would still moisturize. So I've moisturized this morning and I've actually used, what did I use? Is this Inky List moisturizer, Bakuchi oil, I believe that it's called. Now, the pronunciation of some of them are tricky, but it's just a nice light moisturizer. So I do moisturize, but I'm actually going to prime my skin today around my T-zone area where it is really, really oily. So stay away from your strobe cream, stay away from your pore filling primers. They're not going to make your makeup last longer. Good skincare will. So for priming today, I'm going to be using BECCA Ever Matte Priming Perfector. Now, I'd only ever reach out for this during summer months. As you all may know, I do wear a luminous silk. That is my foundation of choice. But if we're in extreme heat, luminous silk will do nothing. So we're going to talk about the choice of your foundation in a minute. I found this probably to be the best mattifying primer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a tiny bit of that at the back of my hand. And now this product is lovely, but it is quite thick and tacky. And what I mean by thick and tacky, it's that you really have to work it quite fast. So I'm really just applying that through here. And as you can see, I've done my eyebrows off camera already, just to cut the time of this film and just really concentrate with this primer around my T-zone area. Not going too low into the cheeks. Now the trick is we need to let that sit and work on our skin. If we're gonna apply foundation straight on top of that, we might disturb the formula. Right, so as you can see, I have my eyebrows done. And we've all been there, we've worked a whole day and our eyebrows are gone. So what do you do? Right, so I wear usually a powder on my eyebrows, or like powdery wax. And some people might wear gel creams, etc., or pomades, whatever you want to call them. So what you need to do is to make your eyebrows last a lot longer, you need to double set. And what do I mean by double setting? You really need to apply, let's say, an eyeshadow or a colored powder to make that set in place. And today for that, I'm going to be using Omega Powder Eyeshadow by MAC Cosmetics. I'm going to apply this on this angled, unbranded brush. So I'm literally just going to dip into Omega. And I'm just gonna go over that, and as you can see, I'm stippling the product on top of my eyebrows. I'm not swirling or moving it around. I'm really just stippling that onto it, because that's gonna help the formula to lock in better. And you know what? This trick is absolutely brilliant, especially for people that are wearing pomades, because pomades are rather oily and creamy. They can smudge. Especially if you're wearing a visor, because I mean lads, you're going to have a mask and a visor, you're going to be breathing and all that heat is going to come up. It's going to be a mess. Why am I moving onto an eyebrows now? Because I want this primer to really sit into my skin. So the step's going to look completely different today. Right, so straight on, we're going to move on to foundation. When it comes to foundation of your choice, you want to use something a lot heavier. Now forget about face and body, forget about luminous silk, sheer glow, they will do nothing for you. They are very light, they are very flawless, they're lovely on a night out or a red carpet or wherever you go with, but if you want your makeup to last, you need concrete on your face. Now what I would probably recommend, it would be obviously your glorious Double Wear or Studio Fix by MAC Cosmetics. You want something quite heavy in coverage that it's gonna last quite a long time. Now the foundation I'm going to use today is Studio Fix by MAC Cosmetics in shade NW25. So this is my foundation of choice. I would probably never reach out for this. This is way too heavy for me. It's way too full coverage. But if I want my makeup to last 6 or 8 hours and look as good as I can, I need something quite heavy. Now I'm going to apply this on a brush today, and I'm going to be using my Zova 102 brush, I believe that is. And why am I using a brush? Now we all know a beauty blender shears out the product a lot. So with brush we're going to have more control, and we can build the product a lot better. Also the technique of your application is very, very important. Right, so let me just pump this product onto my hand. I'm running actually quite low on this. And I'm just going to dip my brush into it, and just starting with small amounts, I'm going to apply that. And as you can see, I'm stippling the product onto my skin. I'm not swirling it around. I'm really stippling that onto my skin. And first I'm concentrating around my nose area and my cheek area, and then I'm going to move on to the forehead. I find this brush absolutely amazing for foundation. It's probably one of my favorite foundation brushes ever. So you really want to make sure that you're stippling that product in and really getting into the skin. Stippling the product on is really going to give you that full coverage, and as well with brush we're getting probably the most coverage out of our foundation, but it's still going to give you that flawless finish that Beauty Blender would give you. So we really want to concentrate around our forehead or eye area or cheek area, the top of our nose, well the top, just around here, because all here is going to be covered. So just make sure when you're going down around here now at facial hair, so what you want to do is, like, if you don't have facial hair, obviously just go a lot lighter around here. Also, the foundation of your choice is very important. You don't want anything to transfer onto your mask. So you really want a foundation that doesn't transfer. So like your Double Wear or Studio Fix or anything that's quite full coverage that doesn't transfer. Just make sure a tiny bit on your ears. Just because you're wearing a mask or a visor doesn't mean you shouldn't be wearing makeup. You still want to look good. God, I haven't worn this in such a long time. And you know what? It's a classic. It wouldn't be my favorite foundation, but when it comes to stuff like this, it's reliable. Do you know? It was the only thing I had in my kit that would be quite suitable for today's film. So once that's done, you really want the foundation to settle into your skin. You don't want to put anything over it yet. So let's give it 2 or 3 minutes while this settles in. Right, so I gave the foundation a few minutes to settle in, and you know what? That's a trick I learned a long time ago. You really need to let the foundation set in between the steps. Right, so now we're gonna conceal, and that is very important. And the concealer of my choice today is Tarte Shade Tape in Light Neutral. And you know what? You could swim, you could go to hell and back, and this is gonna stay on your face. I'm not even messing. This is a lifesaver when it comes to summer, when it comes to situations like this, when it comes to wearing a mask. This will not budge a bit. Right, we still don't want to over conceal. So what we're gonna do is my regular technique. So I'm gonna just put a few dots over here, few dots over here, and same under this eye. And then we really want to conceal around the nose area. Well, you don't have to, because I mean the mask is gonna go over your nose, but when you take it off, the concealer is definitely gonna help it to last longer. And then just few dots here because that's a trend apparently. But no, if you're quite oily, I'd definitely recommend concealing through there. And today we actually not going to be using a beauty blender. We're back into our brushes, and this is a Zova brush, a concealer brush. I can't think of the name of it. And like that, just like with your foundation, you really want to stipple that product onto your skin. You don't want to be swirling it around, warming it up. You really just want to stipple that in. And that is the best technique to make your concealer last longer, and foundation. Now make sure you're not putting anything onto your eyelids, because we're gonna go through all that. I know this takes a lot longer than what you would normally do with your beauty blender, because with the beauty blender you'd have that done in seconds. But hey, listen, we all want to be beautiful, and we want that makeup to last. Now I probably never wore that amount of makeup in my life in a very long time. Now it is very much your filming makeup. It is makeup that you do for photos, something that you really want to last. And same with our nose. And like that, I'm literally just stippling that product onto my skin. I'm not moving on or swirling. I really want that formulation to just sit on top of my foundation and really push that product in. When it comes to my forehead, I'm gonna go back with my Zova brush just so it's quicker. And really push that product. Right, so with all that done, we need to set everything, and that's a very important step. So that's your step 2. So we talk about prep, and now we're talking about set. Right, and for setting today, we're gonna use a trusted friend of mine, Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is probably the best translucent powder for setting ever. Right, so let's put a tiny bit of it in here. And to apply this, I'm gonna use a favorite of mine, MAC Cosmetics 128S brush. And like that, we want to put a large amount of powder onto a brush, dab off the excess, and like that, we're not swirling the product around, we're really pressing it in. Don't be afraid of setting powder. You want this to last. You really want to press that powder into your skin and set all that. Now, it might look like I'm going ham with this powder, which is exactly what I'm doing. Don't be afraid of powder. Really press that into your skin. The minute you're gonna start swirling and moving the brush around, you're really gonna disturb the foundation formula. So you really want to just press that in. Don't be afraid of the powder, I'm telling you. In those situations, powder is your best friend. Right, so that's our face done. Now, when we're gonna grab our mask, so this is my mask, we really need to see what else we need to do. So it goes this way on, does it? Yeah. So this goes around my nose. I'm going to pull that down. Now, if that's my mask on, it's going to be really pointless contouring my face. No one can really see your cheekbones. So I would recommend is probably doing slight contouring through your forehead. But even though you're wearing a visor, it's not necessary. It's going to be really pointless. So all you want to do is just maybe dab a bit of highlighter through here. Just to give you a nice glow and a bit of colour to your skin. There'd be no point doing a blusher or anything like that. Why? Because you can't see it. So when it comes to highlight, I would definitely recommend more of a powdery formula. And today for that, I'm gonna use Jeffree Star Cosmetics Peach Goddess. I absolutely adore this powder. This powder is absolutely amazing. So I'm literally just gonna dip a tiny bit on an Inglot 4SS brush and just work that product in. And as you can see, I'm stippling that onto my skin. I'm not swirling it. I'm literally just pressing that onto my skin. We don't want to disturb any formulas. We really want to create just beautiful seamless effect. So as you can see, if I'm wearing a mask, you'd still be able to see this part of my cheek. So when you take that off, you still look lovely. So like that, we're really just pressing that in. Now you can highlight around here. Obviously, it'd be just nice to put a bit of highlighter through here because this is the area we can see. So you need to make sure that your eyebrows and your highlight and your foundation through your forehead is absolutely stunning. So when it comes to your eyes, you need to remember a few things. You want to use a good eye primer. So let's say Urban Decay or Painterly Paint Pot by MAC Cosmetics. You don't want to put a concealer and then powder it over. That still might cause creasing. So today, obviously, I'm going to be using MAC Cosmetics Paint Pot in Camel Coat. And I'm just going to apply that on a Sigma concealer brush. And like that, you really just want to apply that onto your lid. So this is going to work as your primer for your lids. Obviously, you could use something like Urban Decay eye primer, which is also absolutely amazing. But I find the paint pots brilliant and the eyeshadows go beautifully over it. So you really just want to apply that onto your lid. Like you can bring that out slightly onto your crease. It is really up to you. Because we've used cream, we really want to set that. And today, like that, it's not about a makeup look or anything. We really just want to make sure the makeup lasts. So over my paint pot, I'm going to go over with MAC Cosmetics Powder Eyeshadow in Omega. And this eyeshadow is absolutely stunning. I'm just applying that on a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just pressing that eyeshadow in. Now lads, if you're wearing a visor, the heat is going to generate on top of that. And you know what? You want to keep it as simple as you can. So I'm just pressing that eyeshadow in just to set that all in. Now you can go with any color you want, but obviously less is more when it comes to your eyes in this situation. Now even an eyeliner, I probably wouldn't recommend that. And then obviously you want to just blend that slightly out, just to give you a bit of color and dimension. You can run that underneath and like that. This is really just going to work makeup. You're not going to an event or anything. You just want it to last. And especially with the heat, because I mean, if you live in the southern hemisphere of the world, we're going into the summer. The temperatures are going to rise and it's going to get a lot more hot and humid. Right, so with my eyes done, we need to talk about mascara. I wouldn't recommend putting false lashes or anything because like that, think of it. If you're wearing a visor, there might be hitting off. Now, I don't know how big your eyelashes are, but they might hit off. So just keep it simple, bit of mascara. And today I'm going to be using Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. Now I find this mascara good. Just use anything that's trustworthy of yours. Anything that is waterproof, anything that will last. Because like that, less is more. You don't want to get transfer or anything. So you just literally want to add your lashes, bit of color. Once that step is done, you want to set everything with a setting spray. Morphe setting spray is brilliant. There's so many setting sprays out there. Today I'm going to be using MAC Cosmetics Fix Plus. I absolutely adore this product. This is brilliant for any skin type. It gives a nice hydration and it makes the makeup last. Now I've used the mattifying one, I used the glowing one, but I just found the classic the best. So literally make sure you keep that quite far away from your face. You don't want to spray that and make that nearly sit on top of your face. You want to spray that and just let that sit or set. Now, when it comes to lips, I would highly recommend avoiding lip gloss or lipstick, because if you're wearing lip gloss or lipstick and you're wearing a mask, that is going to transfer on top of your mask. But we need to remember about hydrating your lips. So what I would recommend probably putting on your lips is Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. So we're going to put a tiny bit of Liz on our finger. And we're just going to run that through our lips. And that's just going to provide hydration and protection to your lips. Now when you're in work, you want to make sure that you have powder with you so you can top that up throughout the day. Me as a hairdresser, I know myself, it gets really warm in a hair salon and it can be quite difficult to work. So as we can see, we're going to pop our mask on. So I'm going to tie that mask on now. So this is the new look. Like this is the fashion. Do you know, you guys? So as you can see, we can see my eyes, we can see my eyebrows, and they're looking stunning. We can see the tiny bit of highlight when I turn, but still when I take this mask off, there's no transfer on it as such. So all those techniques will stop the makeup from transferring onto your mask or whatever you're wearing. So you guys, I hope you found this film rather interesting, helpful and useful. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my other social media. And of course you guys, Gormila Maggot Agus Salon. Bye!